Hey everybody, welcome back to Illiterate Book Club. I am Matt.
I'm John.
And this is going to be our top 5 surprises of 2019.
So movie
surprises.
Were, yeah. Guess what? No. Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, movies that we just, caught us off guard. We had
Right.
nothing, didn't know anything about them, or
Maybe it looked bad.
Yeah, it was just better than we thought.
Yeah.
So before we get into this, please like and subscribe. We appreciate your comments and everything you've done to tell us to, introduce
better.
us. Yeah.
Two fat idiots.
Yeah, your criticisms are not going unheard.
Right.
But
we're putting them on the wall and shaming ourselves every day. Anyways, so let's jump into this. Go ahead. What's your number 5 surprise?
Me, number 5 surprise. Okay, so my number 5 surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't really care for this one as much, but it surprised me. Detective Pikachu.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and surprise here is I really expected this just to be a straight up Pokemon fan service movie.
Yeah.
I didn't expect there to be really that much story to it. I thought it was just going to be, oh, look at all these characters. Look at that character. Look at that one. And this one actually had a decent story to it. I mean, it wasn't original. It wasn't, like, mind-blowing.
Right.
But it was a fun story. And, of course, Ryan Reynolds voicing Detective Pikachu for the movie, it was kind of funny to watch. Yeah.
It worked.
It was an enjoyable experience. I probably don't want to go watch again and again.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch.
I think I had higher expectations than you did, and I guess that's kind of why.
And again, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan to begin with, so like, I like it.
Yeah.
But it surprised me.
Okay.
So you're number 5. Yeah.
My number 5, and actually, I think this may be my best movie on the surprise list as far as what I think is maybe the best movie, but I didn't necessarily have high or low expectations. One of the two. I don't know. It's really good. Missing Link.
Okay.
Leica, is it Leica, I think?
Yeah. Good animation company.
Excellent. Really cool. I mean, you know what you're getting with animation out of them and stop motion animation. Really fun. Zach Galifianakis
There you go.
Does the voice of the Missing Link or the Bigfoot. You had Hugh Jackman in it. I think it was maybe Sam Hayek. Anyways, excellent voice work throughout the movie. It was really good heart, great story, really funny, obviously, with some of the characters. Excellently made. So, yeah, a big surprise for me because I didn't know what to expect going into that movie at all, and then it turned out to be one of my favorite movies, to be real. So, go ahead.
Awesome. So this one is, it's Shazam for number 4 for me. And it was one of those because I have learned to suppress my hopes for DC.
Okay.
In general, like apart from the Joker, and then now Shazam, and then Wonder Woman, and even to a lesser extent Aquaman was good, but not that great. I've come to not expect great things from the DC movie universe right now, and Shazam was one of those nice little surprises where it still has the visual tone of the other DC movies, but it's more lighthearted than the others. Yeah,
for sure. And Shazam almost made this list for me of surprises, but I have to say I think the reason it didn't make it was mostly on the lines that I wasn't 100% surprised that it was good. And the reason being is I knew they had just came out of Aquaman, which was good. I knew that the head of the studio was kind of changed up. I knew I loved the main actor, the guy who played Chuck.
Zachary Levi.
Yeah. I knew he's hilarious. And then also another thing, which may be kind of a cheap one, but they actually, since they had so much confidence in this movie, they released like the critics embargo like 6 weeks early, so everybody was praising it already. So so it wasn't as much as a surprise to me, but it was excellent.
I mean, I'm not surprised that it was good. I'm surprised at how good it was.
Yeah, it was excellent,
and it was a really good movie.
I was surprised it didn't make my top 10 to be real. So if you haven't seen that video, you should check that one out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so where are we at?
Number 4.
Number 4 for me. Number 4 for me was a big surprise because it looked awful and it was pretty dang good. Charlie's Angels.
Nice.
Yeah, I was extremely shocked.
It's like the 3rd remake they've done or something.
Yeah, something of that nature. But it was good, and I was really surprised that they hit it for so long. I think that really hurt them because I think I wound up getting better reviews and better word of mouth than it would have got.
Right.
But
and
they
we have
hit it.
a good director for it. She's also a good comedic actress.
Yeah. Which she hadn't directed that great of movies yet, but this particular woman I think was her best outing. What was her Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah. And I'm glad to hear that.
It's good. I think you enjoy it. I thought it was really funny. She had a comment earlier about that right after because it bombed horribly. FYI, like just it. Financially.
Oh, yeah. It
financially,
not a good showing. Yeah, of course, it came out surrounding a lot of other really high
It did,
movies.
And that's what I kind of mean by, like, not letting it out to the critics early. If they did that, it could have gotten some word of mouth. But, so she was one of the star actors, right? She was a director, and she produced it. And she said, one of the things she said is, if you're gonna have a big bomb, make sure you put your name on it as many times as you possibly can. So I thought that was really good spirits and really funny.
Oh, yeah, well, good.
So yeah, Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels. All right, fun. All right, so for me, number 3 was The Kid Who Would Be King.
Okay.
So that's a nice King Arthur adaptation, or Sword in the Stone adaptation, really. Mm-hmm. And that's another one. A director that also did Attack the Block.
Okay.
I think the alien invasion story in London. He comes back to his roots of kids in London kind of thing.
Is that John Boyega?
Think so.
Finn.
Yeah.
And Attack the Block.
Acting. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was one of his breakout roles.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, this was a good one. Had good fun cast. It's just a lighthearted movie, and of course, if you're familiar with the King Arthur legend, for me, I grew up with the Disney Sword in the Stone. Along with every other adaptation of King Arthur that's been out there,
Did you watch Merlin on Sci-Fi?
I caught part of that.
It was great. Anyways, that's
the point. So this was a really fun movie. It's a kids movie, so don't expect any really high drama. But
I was expecting high drama, so I'm not
okay. Sorry, but it's a good fantasy take. So anyway, that's all I have to say.
Listening.
That's all I have to say. Go for yours.
Okay, so I'm at number 3.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah.
So this movie was really good, and again, kind of all of these are surprises. But Hustlers.
Oh, okay.
Was really good, and I was you didn't hear anything about it. It's a Jennifer Lopez movie. Usually, certain things I like about it.
It's like the week before I started seeing trailers.
Right. I mean, who would have knew that I would have liked a Jennifer Lopez stripper movie? You know what I mean? Surprise.
Right. That's the big surprise.
The surprise was I liked it for...
Right. He reads for the articles, That's.
I liked it for being a good movie, and it was a good movie. Really interesting take. A lot of good drama, a lot of fun, a lot of other things. Go ahead.
Nice. Okay, so all right. So mine coming back was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That was one that there's a lot of scary movies that came out this year. A lot of horror.
I remember you ranked that one high.
Yeah, that was pretty high for me, and part of the reason was I came into it. One, it's based off of an anthology of short stories, and there isn't, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark isn't a big narrative.
Yeah,
and that's hard to do. And they did this really interesting thing of pulling together all these different short stories in an interesting way into one narrative that was well done. I mean, it wasn't completely original, but it was well executed. Okay. And that's the main thing. The directing was really well done. The actors they got to play in it, I thought were good. And it's a good, it's a PG-13 horror movie, which is sometimes hard to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was
like a good thriller.
Yeah, it's a good, intro thriller because it really is scary, but it's also not overly gory. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have the TNA and all that kind of stuff that is normal to the genre.
Right.
And so it's one that you could take, anybody to see who likes scary movies regardless of age. I mean, obviously 13 or higher. But.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise for me, and I like scary movies, so that was definitely in there.
No, definitely. That sounds good. I actually didn't see that one. I think I saw, we kind of split up for reviews because it was a heavy weekend. But I remember you talking about it and really got me intrigued about it. It sounded like how they did it was really cool. Okay, so I'm at number 2.
Yep.
So number 2 for me was a huge surprise. And the reason it was a huge surprise is because I hated the first one. But the second one it was so funny. Angry Birds 2.
Oh, nice.
It was so good. I guess you didn't think I was going there.
No, I didn't know you'd seen it because I didn't get a chance to see it.
No, and maybe it just struck me that way, but I think I'm pretty sure I saw it twice, and both times I was just cracking up. And is this like, again, is it like highbrow, or anything?
Yeah.
Nothing, no. But it's just the first one, just like none of it hit for me. I thought it was super lame, and then this one, it was just like so many funny elements. I think there was one particular part in that movie that I think I laughed harder than I've laughed in any movie this entire year.
Yeah.
So Angry Birds 2.
All right, so my number one. All right, I'm gonna put a caveat here. My number one is what it is because the only other thing that I would have put here got into my top 10.
Okay.
And so, Escape Room.
Oh, okay.
Came out really early this year. It's one of those. It's a January release, so it's one of those that it came out in a time when movies are usually put out to die.
Right.
And so I don't know that it did very well at the box office, and I don't know that most people would like it, but it was one for me that I enjoyed it because it wasn't Saw. For one thing, you kind of expect that to just turn into like a Saw movie where you just have people being trapped and then tortured and then left to die kind of thing. But this one was kind of interesting. It took the idea of an escape room.
I'm surprised to hear it so high for you. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually I thought it was a well done movie, but also it introduced an interesting villain kind of thing where it wasn't just one guy torturing a bunch of people. It had an interesting sort of plot to it.
There's a lot of people torturing a bunch.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's different. Right? It's different. No, but it did have good effects. I never saw it. Good effects, good acting, and it was a good suspense.
Yeah.
It wasn't a straight out horror. It was just a really nice suspense movie. The one I would have put here otherwise was also a suspense, which was Ready or Not.
Okay.
And it has a similar vein to me where it surprised me on both the quality and the narrative that it told.
Yeah.
I was expecting something just kind of generic and cheesy, but
yeah.
So Escape Room actually surprised me because I was expecting it pretty low, but I thought it was a decent movie, and I kind of hope they put out another one.
Okay, so that's your number one, right?
Yeah, that's my number one surprise.
I'm at number one. Okay, so I'm at my number one surprise. Oh, remind me later because we need to book one of those escape rooms.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so my number one is number one because I hadn't really heard about anything about this movie whatsoever. It just kind of dropped like Netflix movies do. But you just kind of expected this just going to be a throw-in movie. It was really good. It was Always Be My Maybe.
Okay.
Did you ever see that?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, it's really fun movie, and it's not it's not necessarily the best romantic comedy out there. But again, I had no expectations. Most of the times with Netflix movies, unless they are getting critically acclaimed or being heavily promoted, usually Netflix movies haven't been that good. You know what I mean? Overall, I like their TV shows much better, but their original movies haven't been that great. But this one, man, I didn't hear anything about it. Next thing I know, it's on there. I'm like, oh, let's just check it out. And it was just a really fun, enjoyable time. So,
nice.
Yeah, out of nowhere, Always Be My Maybe. Takes my number one spot.
Nice. Okay.
Those are my surprise.
Yeah, there we go.
Those were surprised that I threw that?
Yeah, those were our surprises. Let us know what you were surprised by this year.
Yeah.
Was there something you just never heard of, or was something you had really low expectations for?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
And
like and subscribe.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Bye.